Hi everyone, it's Cindy. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Studioloo. I just thought I would kind of get started on working on a couple of new books today. So I have a few projects that are underway, and this is like one of three things that I'm starting right now. So I wanted to just kind of let you know what's going on in the studio these days. So I have this book. I have a whole collection of these books, and they're actually quite horrid books. They're called The Old West from Time Life Books. They're mostly just full of pretty terrible imagery, and you know, it's not nice stories, as you can imagine. But the books themselves are like these amazing leather books that are padded inside, and you know, they have this really beautiful pattern out here that I don't think in any way necessarily could only hearken to the West. So of these books that I have, they're quite large, they're a large, let me just kind of measure it and show you. Oops, upside down ruler. They're 11 by, why is this on my ruler? 8.5. So they're quite big. 8.5 by 11, really. So they're like the size of a piece of, regular like writing paper, copy paper. So I have 3 of them, and I'm going to be doing 3 different things with them. This is the first of those 3. So I'm going to be making one of these into a magic book, a history, like magician kind of book. And another one I'm going to be doing like a wizardry type book. And the other one I'm going to be doing, which is actually going to be part of a 2-book series because I want to make 2 different kinds of books, is something I've had on hold for quite some time, and it's all about Beatrix Potter. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that, quite a bit ago, perhaps last year, I did a scrapbook style journal. It was for Release the Crafton's design team, and it was called From the Desk of Morticia Adams, and it was like Morticia Adams's scrapbook, and like I designed and drew and painted a lot of images for it, and used Priscilla's very magical kit and her Addams Family words, and it really turned out beautifully. So I want to do the same kind of conceptual journal here, in that I want to make Beatrix Potter's scrapbook. So I have lots of things, but I also want to make a Beatrix Potter themed journal, and I love this color for Beatrix Potter. I just think this soft blue is beautiful. This book has clearly seen better days. It's Poems to Appreciate, and I only have the cover. Sometimes when there's nothing in the book, or I want to use, I think I've got the poems somewhere here in my stash because I use them in books. They get separated from their book, and then this is what's left. So what I imagine here is I'm going to clean this cover up, and then I'm going to use some kind of a nice large Beatrix Potter type image here. We'll leave this intact because it's just beautiful. I will either create a new spine or try to reuse this one and cover it. I probably will do a whole new spine though. I think it needs a new spine. So these are going to become Beatrix Potter books. Now I have to cut this book apart. I'm also going to use tracing paper to trace this image exactly. And then we're going to put some kind of Beatrix Potter thing here. I have gotten a few digital kits on Etsy for Beatrix Potter, but I actually have a ton of things because I've been sort of like collecting, I've had this stuff building for a while. So I have a Beatrix Potter coloring book that I think will be wonderful for pages in this book. There's lots of really fun, cute coloring book pages in here. And I think it also will be nice for ephemera. I like it because it's like the kind of thing you could use for ephemera that someone could color, and that's really nice, right? Now for the scrapbook portion, this is the book I'm probably going to be turning to. This is The Ultimate Peter Rabbit, a visual guide to the world of Beatrix Potter. So this will help me with our sweet Beatrix's scrapbook. And this itself is just really very perfect. It will be in that book most definitely. So I've got lots of work to do, but see, this book is really going to be quite perfect. It's going to give me all sorts of different kinds of assets. You know, I can make a page about the Lake District, you know, Squirrel Nutkin. You know, there's just so much to be learned here. And the other thing I'm going to do as I go through this, maybe I'll do like a series of videos where we'll share a page from this book. Like I will read to you, say, this page, this is about Peter Rabbit. Maybe we'll have a Peter Rabbit day, and then we can have like a how it all began day. You know, we'll focus as we go through this book and just kind of delve deeply into the world of Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter is within the public domain now, so like there's a lot of fun, just like, you know, with Winnie the Pooh. It's great because these are such iconic, beautiful images, and it's just really nice to play with them and enjoy them together. So all that being said, let's get a little work done. I'm going to pull the camera back a little bit in just a second because I know I'm up close here. I also have all these, so I don't have the covers anymore. I chucked them because I don't need them. You know, you can't keep everything. You just can't. So I've got a couple little things here. I kept this Beatrix Potter and this mousey off of one of the covers. But, you know, we have all these little pages, and obviously, you know, all these little illustrations are quite sweet, but they are quite small. So, you know, it's good to use them for ephemera and for little tuck spots and things, but I'm glad that I have some larger format things as well as digital kits to kind of mix this whole thing up, because I think where I'll really need that will be in the blue book. So yeah, that is my plan. And the first thing I think I want to do is cut down this, not this one. Where did I just put that brown book? Oh, right here. Yeah, so I have 3 of those books hanging out here because I have to cut them up and get them ready. Let me just put my basket over here. And what I'm thinking in terms of color with this book, I was thinking of painting it just a nice light, perhaps yellow, like a buttery yellow color, this whole thing, and then painting on top of it with a dry brush in a gentle violet. And then, you know, obviously replacing this image. So what I'd like to do today, I think, is cut this book up and get it kind of prepared, because we won't be using the spine, and also find some tracing paper so that I can trace this and then determine what image we're going to put on the front. Maybe we could also start the painting process. So give me one moment. I will get a few supplies and we'll come back. All right, so let's begin with just cutting the spine out of the book. Maybe I'll get my glass because that would be safest. Okay, so first I'll just kind of do like the rough, like get rid of the spine cut. And then we'll clean up both sides. Oops. Okay. Get rid of that. Nothing useful in here, I assume. Nothing, you know, that I usually like in terms of book spine. Don't think so, no. That can go. Now, we'll just extend our blade a little higher for a moment here so that we can trim this. And I just want to kind of shave it down on the side. Just kind of rolling the knife along the edge of the cardboard that's inside the book. So for both sides. That side. Also along the leather side. And then we'll just get rid of that last little bit of leather there. Okay, so we should have a nice smooth surface, a little bit up here still to go. There we go. Okay, that's that one. And then we need to shave this one. Start on the paper side here. Okay, that looks good. And now the leather side again. Looks pretty good now. Okay. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're doing this because this does have stuffed sponge inside. And you wouldn't want to like gouge that and, you know, make it messed up, because you'll destroy the book if you're not, you know, careful in that way. Get rid of all these scraps. So, move the glass, and then I think I'm going to get the grunge box up here. Maybe we'll do our painting in the grunge box. And this is just going to be the first coat. Oh, you know what? I need to trace this first. Before I start painting, I want to trace this so I know I have the size right. So just give me one moment. I'm going to get some tracing paper. Alright, so I have a piece of tracing paper here, and we're going to be doing this freehand, so let's try to make things as ideal for ourselves as we can. I'm going to turn this sideways because it doesn't need to be any particular direction, and I'm going to use a little bit of masking tape to just tape this down because we don't want it sliding around or moving. Oops. And then as well, the book itself, I'd appreciate if it also did not move a whole lot so that I can get in there and do my tracing. Okay, so we're just going to use pencil and we're going to freehand this. Oh, these pencils are annoying. They're the click lead. There we go. So we're just creating a template here. And I may end up repositioning this. It's going to be a little quiet for a moment. I do this kind of tracing and template creation whenever I have a unique shape on the front of a book that I want to cover. Okay, I think I might need this a little closer to me now. We'll see. I don't really want to reposition it, so came in a little too deep there. Okay. So that was one of the more difficult templates that I've drawn, and possibly you can't even see it. The reason it's difficult is because, you know, it has to be perfect for a couple of reasons. So number one, this is a padded book, so it's going to have an outline exactly where this circle is. And number two, you know, it's a oval, like it's not something you can kind of cheat a little on. So hopefully we're good. So then I will take this tape all off here. And before anything should happen to this, I'm going to cut it out so that we have the template. And I should probably put on it, like, this was on the right side, this was on the left side, this is the top, and this is the bottom. Because there can be some variance, you know, in these things. So, yeah. We'll just try to be as precise as we can. And try to stay on your line. You may be tempted to try to perfect, you know, the shape or something, but try not to, because it will cause problems for you. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and we can make note of any issues. What I see when I look at this, when it's on here, is it looks like I've, oh, maybe not. No, I don't think I have cut in too much. So one thing to note is that the original image itself does poke over a little bit much, too much in this one, I don't know if you can see it, but this one little spot right here, there's a little extra of the image. If I could just rub that off, it doesn't really matter. Now, I do have a slight bit of a safety net though, even if I am slightly off with my final image that I choose for this, which I don't think I will be. But I've got this frame here that goes around this picture. So like, it's there for me if I need it to be. I'm not too concerned. I might see if I can pull this picture up. I'm guessing I probably can't. These books are a little cantankerous. So, I mean, they're well made. I shouldn't complain, really. They're actually very well made, so that's a good thing when you're choosing a book to make a journal from. But I might just try, like, even just with my palette knife to see if I can plunk this up at all. I'm guessing no. Yeah, I would probably just peel. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just leave it alone. I might just come into this one little spot here where like their die cutter thing like didn't die cut it properly. Yeah, that's coming off. It knows it's not supposed to be there, so there. That's better. Okay. And then that will just kind of make that nice and smooth for me. So now this is the ever important template. We need to keep it safe with our life. And I'm going to put the grunge box down. I'm going to put the template, for those of you who are with me, remember this with me. It's right inside the front of this Peter Rabbit album, okay? It's safe and sound. So that when I ask you later, you'll be like, oh, Cindy, you know, you put it inside that book. Because I am like the worst being like the safe keeper of things. I always over safe keep things, and then I'm like, where did I put it for safe keepings? Okay, so this is the paint I'm going to use. This is from the thrift store. It was 25 cents, but I bought it. Why did I buy it? Because I was like, I don't have that yellow, like, and I saw it the other day, and it is Ceram coat, and I love this paint. It's so good and thick by Delta. I don't even know like if they make, I think they do still make this, because I have this, I found this store that's like a wholesaler type store, and they carry it. I've got to go back there because it's the only place I've ever seen this paint. I need to get a paintbrush, and I need to plug in my phone, so give me one sec. Okay, so I thought I wanted to paint in the grunge box, but I actually don't. I think it'll be nicer to not have the sides to contend with. Okay, so I'm actually just going to put a little bit of the paint right down on here. I suspect I'm going to need 2 coats of this yellow at minimum, because we are painting leather. And I'm okay with that. Let's just get this base coat on, because this is what things will stick to. So again, I'm going to do this underside here in yellow, And on top of that, I think I want to use like a violet or a purpley blue. Once we've got this fully covered in yellow. And this Ceram Coat color is not as, it's a little more translucent than the blue one that I love, but that's okay. I will also be sealing all this paint in with a Varathane once it's all painted. I suspect this is going to take a few days though to fully complete, between like coats and drying and all that. Okay, so that's that part. Coat 1 looks awful as always. Let me move this. Okay. Now the other board. And I could have really spray painted this, but I just felt like hand painting it. Okay. Oops. All right, I think that's good for a first coat. So let me set this aside. Okay, so I think now I just need to sort of sort out my digital kits a little bit. I won't need to rely heavily on digital kits, but I do like to have a few sort of things that are made up already, like little pockets and things. It just kind of gives me a little like boost forward. I tried to be very careful on Etsy getting quality, like the kind of things that are actually useful to me, like, you know, ephemera that is made like into nice, you know, little things that are already made. I like that this is like already an envelope, but I mean, really I do have a lot of assets in books, so those will be my fussy cuts. These are the digital pages. I had to be very careful though, because there's a lot of stuff on Etsy that like it isn't high quality images, and I'm really kind of picky about that. So I did find a few nice kits that, and I've printed these all back. I'm just gonna try to sort them out now to get them in all the right direction. I've got to trim them to the size of the book, and then obviously scatter them between signatures so that I don't have like the same background on more than one page. But yeah, there are some nice papers here that I think will go really beautifully in this book. I think primarily the digital pages, like these ones, are going to go in the blue, the smaller blue book, but some of them may end up in the scrapbook as well, because there are really a lot of nice ones here. I'm just trying to put them all like the right side down. Okay. These are all the backgrounds that you're seeing here. There we go. Okay, so now we can flip it all over to like the more main pages here. And then I need to look at what the size of that blue book is. Where did I put it? Right here. So, oops, let's go this way, inches. So it's about 6 by 9.5. Okay, 9.5 by 6. That's perfect. Okay, good. So I won't need to trim these down a whole lot. Just sort of trim off the white space. What else was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna set these aside. So I'll trim all this paper tomorrow probably. But what I'd like to do is just get a baby wipe and do a clean of this bit here. And I need to find a bunch of good big paper to add to that scrapbook. I know that this little stains and stuff are so nice for junk journals, but I just want to clean it up a little bit. I don't necessarily feel like I need all those stains. One's like a little coffee stain. It's quite perfect. But I always clean my vintage and antique books. Now, see this? Sometimes you can take a little bit of the ink off. I'm actually okay with that when I'm just trying to get it clean. There's lots of ink on there, so don't worry. Like, you know, don't obviously keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. But it's okay to give one little clean with a baby wipe. It's just the detergents that are in the wipes, and this is actually, I shouldn't even call this a baby wipe. This one is actually a method wipe. It is a French lavender, and it does remove grease and grime with non-toxic plant-based power green technology, whatever that means. I haven't done an excessive look at this, but yeah, it doesn't have anything too crazy in it. Just looking at what's in it. It's actually not that, there's no like major like sulfites or, you know, major cleaners in there. But yeah, I would only really use a baby wipe or something similar that's like kind of an earth green sort of thing. I wouldn't go like Clorox wipes or something on something like this, because that will lift too much ink and you'll be left with like basically like a beige bookboard type color. So that being said, this is nice and clean and I'm happy with it. So yeah, I will I think remove the spine from this book, and then I have to find what's going to be our star of the front of this book, and I don't know yet. I'm thinking I need to look in my stash. I probably do have even more Beatrix Potter stuff. I've got to go through one more time, because these pages, I think they're probably a little too small for this. Like, as cute as that would be, like, I think inked, it would actually be quite lovely. I think I want something a little bigger. We'll see what I have. You know, I may find the perfect thing. Like, I mean, look at that. That would actually be really sweet on there. And if you inked it or framed it and gilded it, like, there's a million options here. This is just a really easy, fun theme. So that, I think, is a video for today. I just wanted to bring you up to speed on what I've been doing, you know, outside of Junk Journal Round Robin. And as I mentioned, I've got 2 other books that I'm working on. I know that some of you aren't into like a lot of the children's kind of nostalgia themes that I've been working with lately, and I get that. I will be doing books that are everything from very dark to very childlike and science and all those. Like, I kind of move all around the spectrum in terms of the kinds of books that I like making. I've been really feeling the urge to finish up projects that I've had on the back burner for a while, as well as to just do kind of commonplace books that don't really have a theme. And I'm just working on through a lot of those, and Beatrix Potter's been on my list for a while, so I'm going to go through that. But you'll also be seeing some wizardry and magic type stuff, because I've got I'm going to be painting the covers for those books probably tomorrow, 2 more of those big brown ones, because I need them to be very different from these. So I'll probably do a few videos about those, but I think I'm really excited to jump into a few, like the days of Beatrix Potter. I think that'll be a lot of fun here. And I'll do some of them here on YouTube. I might do some just on Patreon. We'll see. But that's it for me for now. So I thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.